Hi guys and welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with Rangers. We're away up at Perth today taking on St Johnstone with a chance to go 10 points clear of Celtic at the top of the league. Of course Celtic will have a game in hand, but 10 points is a massive difference at this stage of the season. Unfortunately Jonas Knudsen is injured, so Lee Wallace will come in. Knudsen can stay on the bench, it's not a super serious injury. What the fitness testing, Dalcio and Danny Wilson are just capable at the moment. So Dalcio can stay out, Danny Wilson can retain his place on the bench, I suppose. Everybody else I'm fairly happy with. So we're going to go with the side: Fodringham, Tavernier, Alves, Cardoso, Wallace, Jack Dorrans, Candeas, Pena, Windass and Morelos. Pretty standard stuff here. We're just looking to go up and attack St Johnstone and pose ourselves on them. Fodringham just obviously playing with a standard goalkeeper. Back line here, Bruno Alves coming out and just trying to stop any balls over the top on the counter. Cardoso covering him. Tavernier we're looking to get up and down because of his attacking ability and his partnership and linking with Candeas. Lee Wallace is going to be more of a defensive fullback, sit a little bit in here for some protection as Windass cuts inside and leaves this flank a bit exposed. Jack's going to sit a bit deeper, break up play and play the simple passes forward. Doran's obviously want to get more forward to support Pena in playing those balls out to the wide men and through to Morelos, who is just playing as an attacking forward, or sorry, an advanced forward, to just get in there, break the line and score the goals, which he's been doing excellently so far this season. So that's it. We're standard 4-4-2. St Johnstone are playing against us here. Probably getting a bit of balance in the team. They're going to try and frustrate us a little bit and hit us on the counter with the 2-up. It's not a bad idea, I suppose, from them thus far. A little tunnel interview. Dalcio is being rested at the moment because of his injury problems. And we're just going to encourage the boys. Here we go. Craig playing it to Davidson now. Davidson goes back to Anderson here for St Johnstone. Over to Shaughnessy as the game gets underway. So we're looking to start early here. We've scored a lot of goals before the 10-minute mark so far this season. Pena looking in behind for Windass. It's a great ball. Can he find Morelos with the cross? He sure can. Oh, he's missed it. Alfredo Morelos should have scored there. It should be 1-0 Rangers, but there's still a chance to get a goal before that 10-minute mark as Alan Manis heaves it long. Jack heads it on to Morelos, holds it up, plays it into Pena, takes it nicely. Candeas making a run forward. Tavernier on the outside of him. Candeas traps the ball. He's going to run at the men himself. Whips one in, away by Shaughnessy. Welcome to Dorrans, who rifles it, and it's over the bar. That would have been a hell of a goal from that distance. But we're growing into the game now. Got a lot of shots, and we've taken control of the possession here. As we look to impose ourselves, obviously, on the weaker team here, St Johnstone. Fairly even actually on the possession here as the half an hour mark is reached. Craig with a free kick for St Johnstone, and that'll be saved by the goalkeeper because free kicks never go in, which I'm assuming is a beta problem. Shaughnessy now forward to Skugel, marshalled by Tavernier. Skugel's going to have to go back the way you'd think. Oh, but he dithers on the ball. Tavernier can pinch it inside to Pena. Craig marking him. Pena holds it off though. Candeas getting forward. Dorrans in a lot of space now. Forward to Pena. He looks for Windass. It's not a great pass though, as Foster will pick that up. Windass putting pressure. Foster forward to McLean. McLean will pick that up very easily. That's St Johnstone's bread and butter today. And they go back the way to Anderson. And Witherspoon now playing on to McLean. We have to get a bit closer to them as they try and play it in behind Bruno Alves. They've done it. Cummins is in, and it's 1-0 St Johnstone. And I'm sorry, but Bruno Alves has to do better there. That's terrible. It's just a big long ball in on his blind side, and it's shocking defending, but it's 1-0 St Johnstone. And that's the way it remains at half time. We're going to have to lay into the boys a little bit here. Assertively tell them to show a bit of desire, because we've looked absolutely piss poor so far. We've had a couple of chances that we've just blown. I'm going to bring the Manny on for Candeas. Candeas has been terrible, and Pena's actually going to go off for Baronas here. Can Jordans play that more advanced role better than Baronas? I suppose. Let's go with this. Jack's played poorly. Wallace has been poor. Tavernier's been poor. Pretty much everybody's been poor today. Tell them to show a bit of passion here in the second half as Dorrans plays it to Cardoso and now Wallace, who will scoop it forward. A terrible aimless ball. Oh, actually Morelos is onto it, pardon me, but doesn't come to anything. Alan Manis now taking the goal kick. Hopefully we can snatch a goal early in this second half and rattle them as we come out. McLean looks to get that. Cardoso forward onto Dorrans though, who takes a lovely touch and plays a terrible pass. Wotherspoon gets it to Craig now. Liam Craig back to Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy will float that forward to Cummins. Bruno doesn't get tight enough on him. Cummins plays it to McLean now. In behind the two defenders again. Cummins! It's 2-0. Shocking defending from Cardoso and Bruno Alves again. Absolutely horrible defending. I think what we're going to have to tell them, we're going to have to tell them to mark tighter here. Mark tighter, closing down, mark specific player. He is going to mark... Oh, wait a minute, have they... No, there you go. Mark Stevie McLean. Tackle him harder. I'm going to tell Bruno to mark the other one. It's maybe a little bit too late now. He's going to mark Cummins tightly. And hopefully that should stop them receiving the ball into feet as easily as they have been doing. But absolutely horrendous from us up front. And with half an hour left, I'm going to make the decision to go with Kenny Miller. See if he can't get something for us here. He can play with a defensive forward role, I suppose, and try and run in and about everybody. But I'm concerned here. It's not good. With the chance to go 10 clear of Celtic today, and if we're not careful, it's a simple ball in behind again. Cummins now, 1-on-1. Fodringham denies, and on the second chance, he's put it wide, but it's been a horrible shift in terms of our defending. Somehow Bruno has a 7.0 and Cardoso has a 6.7. It's been terrible defending from them on both goals. Is that Denny Johnson? It is Denny Johnson, former Celtic player. Still only 22. Feel like he's been a young player for about a decade now. But Easton with a long throw. Skugel. Tavernier doesn't get a good challenge in. The defenders are asleep. Oh, and Tav's going to walk. He tried to play the advantage. He pulled it back. And it's a red card for James Tavernier. Now, I wonder what would have happened there. Had the advantage went, they didn't pull it back, would he still get the red card? Don't know how that one works. We're just going to have to move to 3 at the back. There's like 4 minutes left. There's nothing we can do now. It's been a horrible performance. As Liam Craig will play this to Skugel. Trying to push out, goes into Thompson, playing it through to Johnson. Good block. Thompson just wide of the post. I have no idea how Bruno Alves has a 7.1. Baronas to Dorrans. It's a terrible pass again. Dorrans has been shocking today. As the final whistle goes, 2-0 St Johnstone. A win for the home team up in Perth. An even game. And you have to say, the game plan we predicted pre-game, that they were just going to try and play the ball fast up to those two strikers. That's exactly what they did. And our defenders were completely shambolic all day. Tavernier out for 2 games. He's getting a fine. Rangers finally lose, yeah, after 8 games on the trot that we've won. Tavernier let himself and his team down. He regrets his actions, thinks the fine is unfair, but can understand where we're coming from. And we need to bounce back when Aberdeen come to Ibrox next time out. Celtic have Dundee first to see if they can close the gap to just 4. All of a sudden we'd be in trouble. Aberdeen 3-2 win at Easter Road with a 90th minute penalty. Hibs will feel hard done by theirs. Partick and Kelly draw 1-1, and Celtic beat Dundee 5-1 to move within 4 points. A hat-trick for Odsonne Edouard, a goal for Griffiths and a goal for Sinclair, 2 of Celtic's goals being penalties today. But all of a sudden, with the 7 points clear, with the opportunity to go 10 points clear, albeit that would have been reduced back down to 7 after Celtic's victory. But suddenly, we slip up once in the opening 9 games, and we only have a 4 point advantage over Celtic now. Having already played them at Ibrox, all of a sudden we don't look as hot as I thought we were. We slip up once, and all of a sudden we're in a bit of danger. And that's after 8 wins on the trot. When you consider in real life Pedro Caixinha never managed more than 2 wins on the trot. Before he got the punt, obviously as Rangers gaffer. So we're up against Derek McInnes here, possibly the next real life Rangers gaffer. Playing against Aberdeen, we're going to go with exactly the same style. We've got a specific Rangers style now. We're going to be bringing Knudsen back in. I know he's carrying a knock, but I feel he's been a vital player for us this season. Tavernier is going to miss out, which puts Ryan Jack actually to right back, and that'll put Jordan Rossiter in there in the midfield. Tavernier's bench position will go to Marco Milanese, because frankly in fact Danny Wilson's position can go to Marco, and we can bring Jason Holt onto the bench. So the same idea as what we did up against St Johnstone. The only difference at this point being that really we should be, and Dalcio can get his position on the bench back. The only real difference from the St Johnstone game is we're at home now, so we really need to get a victory in this game rather than, St Johnstone, we'd like to have won, but if we'd have drawn it would have been alright. We need to beat Aberdeen here. Aberdeen very positive, 4-2-3-1. What I will say is every time we've faced 4-2-3-1 so far this season, we've torn it to shreds, so hopefully we can continue that here. How much of a boost is Ryan Christie's absence? I'm not going to single out individuals. I can rely on Wes Fodringham to be the captain. So here we go. Rooney to Shaughnessy. There's a lot of Shaughnessy's about in this league apparently. Davis plays it back to Dominic Ball now, who will fire one forward. Okay, Reynolds here for Aberdeen, 5 minutes into the game. Mackay Stephen will pick the ball up. Why can't I shout or anything like that? Why is that? I think that's some kind of glitch as Rooney hits the post. I'm going to tactics and cancel. Will that let me do it now? Or now I can do it apparently. I'm going to try and shout some encouragement. 10 minutes gone. Not a lot happening. Oh, Alfredo Morelos scored. I'm not entirely sure why we didn't see that one. A free kick now. Candeas will play it to Pena, who will hit the outside of the post as it goes wide. Yeah, let's see. Can't we have a look at Alfredo Morelos? Here we go. Jack throwing it to Pena. Pena now looks inside. We'll find Dorrans. It's a good ball. Dorrans got it to Pena, who played it over the top for Morelos, who took a lovely touch and slotted it past the goalkeeper. That was a very, very nice goal by Alfredo Morelos. And now we have Windass whipping it in. It's headed away. Dorrans on the volley, deflecting around in there. Cleared in the end by the Aberdeen defence. So 1 up and absolutely battering at the door, it looks like here. 4-2-3-1 is the formation we want to go up against. It seems we always seem to rip it to shreds. Headed away. Rooney will take that down, however. Rossiter's not there. It's over the top to Mackay Stephen. Jack should be there. He's fallen asleep. He's got a foot in though. Beautiful. Clears it long. Morelos managing to pick that up out on the flank. Can he run the defender here? No, he chooses to hold it up and go back to Pena. Then he gets on his bike. If Pena could find a ball through the back of the defenders here. He chooses to take his time. I think he'll play that out to Windass, will he, Pena? He plays it out to Windass indeed. Windass will scoop it towards Morelos, but it's easy for Martin Reynolds to step in. Can Rossiter pinch that though? He can. Morelos now, defender gets across. Morelos chooses to go out wide. There was a chance there, I felt. It's whipped in. There's a chance at the back stick, and it's Josh Windass assisted by Daniel Candeas, and that puts us 2-0 up after 20 minutes. Exactly what we needed to see here. Good response after the game against St Johnstone didn't go our way, and Knudsen with the 7.1 as Shinnie tees up a free kick which will go just over the bar. Yeah, Knudsen had a bit of a slow start to his career here, if I'm being 100% honest, but I really think he's settled in now and has been a good buy. As Fabio Cardoso goes into the book and is joined by Ryan Jack. Knudsen's actually the highest rated player other than Pena and the 2 goal scorers. In fact, no, he's higher than the 2 goal scorers. That just shows how good he's done today. Passionately, I'm very happy with how we're doing. We've absolutely dominated this half. I'm going to take Knudsen off now for Wallace because he's carrying that knock. He's put in a good shift, and Dalsdale can come on that left hand side because he was absolutely electric when he could play up until his injury. Morelos now to Bruno Alves. All he has is pace, Dalsdale, but he's absolutely ripped teams to shreds at the start of the season. Coming back from injury now, so we're going to put him back out there. Fast, pacey wingers suit Rangers, I think. I've mentioned this before, obviously being a Celtic fan myself. I know the type of players that I hated to see lining up in Rangers jerseys, and those fast, tricky wingers were definitely the type of players I hated to see Rangers recruit. Jason Holt can play as a trequartista, I suppose. See how he gets on. I always associate that with like little South American players, so it's interesting to see how Jason Holt prefers that role, but we'll see. Kenny McLean is in the not in the book, pardon me, he's picked up an injury. Jordan Rossiter is in the book though. Gary Mackay-Steven has an injury as well. We're putting the boot into them here, good news. Ryan Jack with a long throw. Considine will play it long. It will be picked up though by Cardoso. This is the problem. This is what didn't happen to St Johnstone. St Johnstone had the two strikers up there. Obviously Aberdeen just the one. Dalsio puts it in towards Morelos. It's a good challenge. Buxton will pick that up. We'll hit it long towards Adam Rooney. But again, Cardoso manages to step in. It's actually in front of Stevie May now. They do appear to have two strikers. Holt will play this ball inside for Rossiter. But it's a terrible pass which Stewart can easily pick up. Stewart will look to go long. Rossiter giving away the foul already in the book will be sent off. I think today Cardozo and Bruno Alves just must be on their game today versus the St Johnstone game, because it seemed when St Johnstone played with two up, they absolutely ripped us open at will. I'm just going to drop Holt back here. He can be a deep line playmaker. Dalcio Candeas, Morelos will stay. We'll just basically keep the same shape and the same idea. We've got a couple of minutes now left to see out, so I don't think we'll be losing a 2-goal lead as Jack throws it in the way. It's nicked by Shinnie though. Stewart will play it forward to Stevie May now, who takes the ball in. Maybe they don't have two up, maybe they just took Rooney off for Stevie May. Cardoso covering Kenny McLean's run will play it back to Wes Fodringham as the time ticks away here for Aberdeen. Fodringham now shifts it, looks to play it forward down the line. Candeas will pick it up. That's brilliant play. That's the kind of thing Craig Gordon actually does in real life for Celtic, picking out that man out wide with his balls. Candeas running down the line, beats his man, acres of space. Can he find Morelos for the killer goal? He can. 10-man Rangers. Daniel Candeas sets up Alfredo Morelos, and it's a brilliant goal. It's a brace for the man up front, and there's no way we're going to be able to keep him at the club. He is banging the goals in. 5 minutes of added time to play, and can the 10 men actually make things even worse for Aberdeen now? Dalcio trying to get forward, whips it in. Morelos is seeking a hat-trick. It is played away though by Ball. Kenny McLean will pick it up, plays it to O'Connor. O'Connor forward for Stevie May, takes it down on the chest, goes back the way to Shinnie, and now Stewart. Stevie May looking to break the defensive line. He does, drifting through one-on-one with Fodringham, who keeps his clean sheet. He would have been raging actually with the defenders there had that went in. Let's tell them just to tighten up now. I actually think we could do with another quality centre back in there. I'd like the option to play 3 at the back, which is something I don't think I can do at the moment. I don't trust Danny Wilson, and Milanese is obviously way too young to be given that kind of responsibility at the moment. Shinnie plays it to McLean, 5 seconds left, ball through for Stevie May. Ryan Jack, who's been excellent today, cuts her out. Cardozo now will play it back to Fodringham. He can just hoof it long for the referee's final whistle. 3-0 to Rangers here at Ibrox. Dominated the game. Have to tell them, very nice victory today. Stark contrast from the St Johnstone game. We absolutely battered Aberdeen here. That's us now. Let's have a little look here. We're 7 clear of Celtic again before Celtic play their next game. Is that tomorrow? No, Celtic are going to have a game in hand for a little while now. I think must be European action that Celtic are in at the moment. If we go here, yeah, they're playing Anderlecht, and then they have the Betfred Cup semi-final along with ourselves at the weekend. So next week against Aberdeen appears to be where they will have their game in hand. Is that correct? No, because we play that day as well. All right. Okay, so a tight calf for Carlos Pena. It's not much of a problem. Rossiter will get a warning for his ban, which he accepts. How is Ross Lyon getting on at Peterhead? Not terribly bad, I suppose. Okay, so that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. A disappointing result, unfortunately, up in Perth against St Johnstone, but I feel we'll bounce back there with that crushing win over Aberdeen, and that sets us up to face Dundee in the Cup next time out, and then obviously we have that game next Wednesday against Kilmarnock, also at Ibrox, so we can get a bit of momentum. We go to Hampden, knock out Dundee, and then we can crush Kilmarnock hopefully when they come to Ibrox, and that's the momentum back, and we put that St Johnstone result behind us. It's a disappointing result, but you know what, if you told me at the outset of the season that we would be 9-0-1 after 10 games, I would have taken that all day. So, bit disappointing, but we don't want to be too harsh on the boys because I think they've played really well at the start of the season. So if you guys have enjoyed this episode, if you could drop down below and leave a like, that'd be much appreciated. It does help out the channel quite a bit, particularly a smaller channel such as myself. I'd greatly appreciate that. If you want to follow along with the series, or indeed anything on the channel, we've got an AC Milan series on the go as well just now on Football Manager. If you want to follow that as well, you could subscribe to the channel, for which obviously I would be eternally grateful. But overall, just thank you for watching the videos, and I'll see you next time for Dundee at Hampden and then Kilmarnock.